Hey everybody, what's going on? I am Greg Sussman, joined today by Drew Dinkmeyer of DailyRoto.com, who's here to help me break down tonight's NBA slate. What's happening, Drew?
I'm pretty excited for this big slate. We've got some studs to talk about. We've got some value plays to talk about. Hopefully, help the people out there fill out their lineups and make a little cash tonight.
Absolutely. We're going to play over on FanDuel. I'm going to make some money, and that's because we have a good opportunity to build our lineups around Luka Doncic. There is no Kristaps Porzingis potentially. And whenever that happens, Luka goes nuts. Not that he needs KP in or out of the lineup to go nuts, but Luka is a stud that's worth building around. How come?
Yeah, I think, when you look at Luka, the rates without Kristaps Porzingis, you see a bump in the usage rate. You also see a bump in the rebound rate. He really gets a little bit more aggressive. They play some smaller lineups on the whole. Sometimes they'll start JJ Barea or Jalen Brunson, and then that pushes Luka up in terms of the pecking order for rebounding. And so, Chicago is a team that has actually been a little bit better against guards than they have been against front court players this year. So I think all of this kind of works to Luka's favor. And obviously, he's been so consistent all season long. There's plenty of value on this slate, so you can certainly afford to get up to Luka Doncic, and why not? He's, routinely 50 plus FanDuel points night in and night out with a ceiling in the 70s. And so a good game environment against Chicago, a team playing a little bit shorthanded, and a guy who's going to create all the usage on his own in Luka Doncic.
More aggressive Luka is obviously just a great thing for us FanDuel players, and Doncic on this slate. It's expensive, but worth it. Building around Luka Doncic, always a no-brainer. Let's move on to another top-tier stud that Drew likes tonight, and that brings us to Giannis Antetokounmpo. You can't go wrong with the Greek Freak, but it is a monstrous slate. How are you going to fit Giannis in there tonight?
Yeah, it's going to be tricky. There actually is a lot of value, so it's possible that you could maybe fit in both Luka and Giannis tonight. If you're building between the two, I actually prefer Luka. I think there's I actually prefer Giannis. I think there's fewer plays at small forward, and Giannis is one of these matchups, a road matchup in San Antonio, where you can actually feel pretty comfortable with the minutes. That's the biggest thing projecting Giannis. Sometimes there's a lot of blowout risk, and he gets stuck in kind of the mid 20s in minutes. Tonight, yes, they are close to high single-digit favorites in San Antonio, but a road game, a little bit less blowout risk. And Giannis is just such an incredible point per minute producer. He's one of the few guys that we routinely project at over 1.8 FanDuel points per minute. That's the case tonight. We've gone projected for 60 FanDuel points. Make sure that you're getting one of Giannis or Luka in your lineups. You could maybe squeeze both in, but if we're preferring between the two, we'd go in the direction of Giannis tonight just because of small forwards' positional depth.
Giannis over Luka tonight, according to Drew. There is value on the slate. We're going to get to that in a few moments, but Giannis Antetokounmpo certainly on the radar tonight for Milwaukee and for you. One last stud to get to, and that's at the center position, going up to Nikola Vucevic tonight. Obviously, Orlando's out without Jonathan Isaac. Aaron Gordon is back, but not necessarily playing his full complement of minutes, which means Nikola Vucevic is going to have to put this team on his back tonight, Drew. And maybe us FanDuel players should put our stock in Nikola Vucevic as well.
Yeah, it's a really good price tag for Nikola Vucevic as well. I mean, 8,500. This guy before injury was kind of routinely priced in the 9,000s and up to near 10,000 on occasion. So we're getting this 8,500 price tag. We're getting a fast-paced matchup against Brooklyn. And as you mentioned, the injuries to the front court really helped Vucevic quite a bit. When you sub out Jonathan Isaac in his rebounding level and his ability to generate steals and blocks and protect the rim, and you replace it with Wes Iwundu or Kem Birch, these lower usage, lower rebound rate players, that funnels a lot of opportunity in terms of statistics up the front court to both Aaron Gordon and Vucevic. And Vucevic is the one who's healthier right now. He's the one who's able to play a little bit of a more full complement of minutes, and he's the one that we expect to take advantage of this matchup with Brooklyn. Priced at just 8,500, he's a little bit of a value to us, but he's still one of the top plays on the board.
Vooch, always a top play on the board. Cheaper than, of course, the other guys we mentioned. It is a really good spot tonight, as I said, because he's going to get all the points that he can handle, all the minutes he can handle in Orlando, which is obviously fantastic news for us on FanDuel. Up next, let's move on to how we're getting these studs in there, and that's with the value plays. That brings us to Thaddeus Young, who's in a really, really good spot tonight, Drew.
Yeah, no Lauri Markkanen. At least it seems that way. He's listed as doubtful for the Bulls, so we'll find out if he's for sure out. But if he is, that should slide Thaddeus Young into the starting lineup. The Bulls just don't have a ton of front court depth. They really, in terms of their backup bigs, they're really all centers. Behind Wendell Carter Jr., you've got Daniel Gafford, you've got Luke Kornet. So there aren't really true power forwards on the roster behind Thaddeus Young to soak up those Lauri Markkanen minutes, which means we think we'll see a ton of Thaddeus Young tonight. He's just 4,200. The matchup against the Mavericks is one that should go up and down the court, and he won't have to deal with Kristaps Porzingis, inside kind of contesting shots. So I think it's a good opportunity for Thaddeus Young. Thinks it's a tremendous price tag. This is a guy who's been an effective NBA starter for a long time. He's the best value play on the slate, in our opinion.
Best value on the table tonight. It's Thaddeus Young without Lowry Markkanen expected to play. Thaddeus Young in the starting lineup, getting more minutes in an excellent spot for the Bulls and certainly cheaply priced on FanDuel. Another value that's worth bringing up to the table, it's Marcus Smart with Boston. No Kemba Walker, and yet his price went down?
Yeah, it's kind of surprising. We left last week with Marcus Smart priced in the 5,000s, and we came back this week and he's priced below 5,000 for a matchup against the Washington Wizards, the team that plays at the fastest pace in the entire league, team that gives up as many steals and blocks as anyone in the league, and no Kemba Walker. So it seems like kind of an easy play here with Marcus Smart. He's been sliding in as that starting point guard. You've seen the assist rate tick up without Kemba, and we would expect that fantasy production to continue to hold in a great spot against Washington.
Let's make sure Marcus Smart gets the job done tonight with all of those minutes going his way. Gordon Hayward, another fine play on this slate with the Celtics. Marcus Smart, nicely priced on FanDuel tonight. One last value play to get to, and that brings us to Indiana. Without Malcolm Brogdon, Aaron Holiday has stepped up, and he should do it again tonight.
Yeah, I know you and I, Greg, we're not quite done with the holidays, so we need a little bit more holiday in our life, and it's Aaron Holiday for Indiana. No Malcolm Brogdon. Without him, the minutes have ticked up into the high 20s, sometimes into those mid 30s if he can stay out of foul trouble, but the rates have really exploded. The usage rate has been up into the mid 20s. The assist rate has been up into the 30s as he's been the primary ball handler. Favorable matchup tonight against Charlotte, a team that likes to move and kind of keep the game in transition. Pretty good price tag in those low 5,000s, and these are the types of guys that you need if you really want to jam in Luka Doncic and Giannis Antetokounmpo tonight. So Aaron Holiday as a salary relief option at point guard makes a ton of sense.
I never want to be done with the holidays, Drew, and that's why I'm putting Aaron Holiday into my lineup tonight. Not just the pun, but it's also the spot without Malcolm Brogdon in there. He's been good. He'll continue to be so, especially tonight. That's going to do it for us here on the FanDuel Hurry Up. Drew, I appreciate your time. Let's do it again soon.
Thanks so much. Enjoy the games tonight, Greg.
You as well, Drew. Have a great night, everybody. Enjoy the games. Have some fun. Win some cash. We'll see you right back here tomorrow on the FanDuel Hurry Up.